All right, there you go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at Going Batty in Reno. We have Jenna and Linda who are going to be kind of taking us on a tour, kind of an impromptu tour of their shop. They are platinum sponsors for Quilt Show Reno, which we're super grateful for. They do have a machine giveaway, a Bernina 475, which will be happening on Friday afternoon. So make sure you get your tickets turned in, and you have to be present to win Friday afternoon. Okay, so they are sponsoring the Bernina serger classes, and you don't necessarily have to be making clothing to use a serger. There's so many more things you can do with a serger. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what we can do with this? Because when Keegan told me, I think I need to buy a serger.
You do, absolutely. Everybody needs to have one. This is our combination machine. So that means that it does overlock stitching and cover stitching, as well as a combination and decorative stitching. You can quilt on it. You can piece. My favorite thing is using it for binding. So you put fusible thread in the lower looper, and actually quite a few of the quilts that we have hanging up in here look finished, but they're partially hand stitched or, not stitched yet, but they look gorgeous hanging up there. So we even had a celebrity event, and we found out that one of the Bernina educators does that on all of her quilts that she sends off to shops to display to get them finished.
So what does that mean? You're putting a fusible thread into the machine, basically the bobbin, and then stitching it, and then you fold it over, iron it, and then
with steam, and then it glues it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you
can hand stitch it. Yes. Yeah. But I'm assuming that you no longer need clips because it's already fused down.
Absolutely.
So it's not as hard on your hands.
Yes. And it goes much faster.
Okay. I like that. I also like the fact that you can use the machine for more than serging. You can use it for regular stitching.
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. As well as making clothing. So Keegan is going to be teaching a class at the quilt show, the quilted jacket class. Yes. And then also a quilt class, a ruffle quilt class.
Right.
So
if you want to take the ruffle quilt class, I don't know if we have a sample here.
We do not.
Okay, but if you want to take the ruffle quilt class, you're going to want to sign up right away because I believe there's only 2 spots left. And then the quilted jacket, they get the fabric pre-quilted.
Correct.
And then
once they sign up, we will be calling them to pay for their kit. We will do a virtual shopping experience with them where they can pick out their fabric for it, pick out their quilting design, and then it will be all ready when they come to the class.
Perfect. So they're literally just going to do the construction of the jacket. Also, Keegan said he's going to have some tips and tricks on how to fit it so that it's not going to be boxy, because sometimes it's kind of like you're wearing a quilt, but this is a very, I wish we had the sample. You're going to have to go to quiltshowreno.com and then look up the quilted jacket for a photo, but it's a very, what's the word?
Well, it drapes very nicely because we use bamboo batting.
And professional. It's a very professional look. It actually was a very beautiful jacket. So go check that out because I think that would be a fantastic class, especially if you're not real sure about fitting and all of that. It's always good to take a class so that you can get those tips and tricks from somebody who's made jackets before.
Yes.
So all of the classes in the serger room are going to be on sergers, but they're not necessarily clothing.
Correct.
So what other things can you do with a serger? Because in my world growing up, for the last 100 years, sergers were literally just for clothing, and so I never really used one.
Well, you can actually piece using a serger, and that's using one of the cover stitch.
So not all sergers will do it. It has to have a cover stitch,
Right.
and the cover stitch is like this. Here, Devin, get in close. That's a cover stitch. So it's kind of like a serger stitch, but on the outside for a finished look. And we do have a quilt over here. We'll do kind of a shop tour as we walk over to show you the quilt that is using that stitch.
So it's hanging up on the wall in the fall colors. That's our flat lock serger quilt. We did add another class. It's very popular. So that class will be in the shop June 17th. And we'll have kits available in different colors.
So does it go together so much faster? Because I've only used a serger probably about 5 times in the last month or so.
Yes.
But the serger goes so much faster. It's crazy. Like, I don't know why I didn't use a serger for the last, I don't know, 50 decades.
It cleans up the edges. You don't have all the loose threads. It's a lot faster.
So if they've never used a serger and they're kind of leery, like they don't want to take a class and not know how to use the machine, is it going to be beginner friendly?
Absolutely. This is the best beginner friendly machine that I've ever come across.
Okay. And then you guys will be there to help if they have questions.
Yes.
Or so even if you've never used a serger, the serger classes are great. Plus it gives you kind of a sneak peek into what sergers are like. And trust me, because I've used one 5 times in the last month or so, I think I need one. Like, I don't know how I've ever lived without one. Okay, so then you guys have some specials in the shop. This week it is
any fabric yardage with white in it. So even if it's basically blue, but it has a little white flower, it still counts as white and it's 20% off.
Okay, so every week you have a different color.
A different color or a different item.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
And then also, I think when I walked in, kits are 20% off.
20% off. Mm-hmm.
And
we have lots of classes. Recently, what's been popular is the National Park quilts with the one block wonder. So
I like it with the one block wonder.
The birds over there on the wall. So we just added another one of those. And we just got a couple more National Park panels that are new for this year. So new kits are available.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys are also bringing in a certified Bernina instructor, Quilt Tony.
Correct.
And what does Quilt Tony specialize in? Because she will be teaching classes at Quilt Show Reno, but she'll also be in your booth. What does she specialize in?
The pixel art.
Pixel art quilts. Yes.
Using the BO8, but also they can be done on a serger.
Right. And I think she's got a Bargello class. So if you've ever wanted to know how to do Bargellos, she's got a class and a lecture on that. So all of her classes are listed. She's being flown in from Canada, I believe.
I don't have that information.
I do. Yeah, she is. She's coming in from Canada.
Okay.
And she's got a lot of fun classes, especially if you're into gaming and that kind of thing. I think that's kind of where she gets her inspiration. So even if you're not necessarily into the gaming yourself, you've got a grandkid or a 40-year-old kid living in your basement that might be interested in all of that fun stuff. So sometimes it kind of takes you out of your comfort zone, but it's always fun to learn new techniques.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. What else, guys? What else? Any other specials? Any new fabric lines?
Well, every week, almost every day, we get more fabrics in. So we're waiting on a lot more batiks because we ordered those quite a bit. So there's always that huge selection of batiks. We have brought in, trying to think what the new one
The
is.
African wax.
Yeah, this came in. And so these are really different. I don't know if you're going to find them anyplace else. But,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We get around to a lot of shops and I've never seen the African prints except for at shows. Yeah. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that one's really different.
New Bender text is in the back waiting for me to put in.
Inventory. I know that's kind of like slows things up, having to inventory it, put it in the computer system.
Yeah.
It's a lot that goes into getting it out onto the show floor.
But there's always new stuff.
Yeah.
So come on in and see what we have.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys for being platinum sponsors and coming to the show, and for the grand prize giveaway on Friday. That's pretty exciting. So you're going to want to come to the show every day because we've got grand prizes. We've got all kinds of prizes. Anything else? What's your website in case they want to go check out any of your classes between now and whenever?
GoingBatty.com.
GoingBatty.com. And if you've seen anything on our tour here that you need, oh, here, look at, I'm about to walk out with this. Did you see I had it in my hand? This is my favorite thing. I think I have to get one. It is a silicone cleaner for your machines. And it's got a silicone tip so it won't injure, and it's flexible so it won't injure anything inside of your machine. So I do think I have to buy one. If Devin lets me use Fabric Chicks money to buy one. No, I think I have to go home with one. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Follow us on quiltshowreno.com and Going Batty. Did you end it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.